Wee! What's up everybody, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a good movie. Now this could be for anything, Blender, VR, or real life. Now this tutorial is really going to help you, so let's get started. Wee!
The first thing you're going to want to do for your movie is plan it out. And I don't mean like write the script. We're going to want to figure out the overall plot, characters, relationships, and the ending to your film. For example, let's take my original movie, Golden Child, coming soon. Before I wrote that, I thought for a long time what it would be about and how it would end. You also want to make sure you know the personalities to these characters. If you're struggling to come up with an idea, I would recommend going on YouTube or searching up recent movies that I've released. These can really help spark your ideas. Once you've done that, you can move on to Alright, now that step 1 is out of the way, here is the second step, the script. Now for a script, you're going to want to be careful. I say this because if you write too much, your film may get boring, but if you write too little, your film will feel rushed. You want to be dead in the center. If you write around 4,000 words, your film will be in the 40-minute range. This means 1,000 words roughly equals 10 minutes, so if you want your film to be as long as a normal one, write around 6,000 to 10,000 words. In the script, make sure you write in this kind of format, making sure that you include descriptions of what is happening, characters moving, what's happening in the background, stuff like that. For what you could use to write on, I personally use Word, but I know many people use Google Documents, so you can use that if you want. With each line of dialogue, make sure you put emotion into it. Don't make it feel stiff. What I mean by that is, don't make a character say, "I was concerned about you." That doesn't sound realistic at all, unless you know someone that talks like that. Instead, make them say something like, "I thought I lost you," or just, "I was worried." If it isn't something you would say, don't write it. Also, to ensure the length of the film meets your standards, add some subplots to increase the length, or add some side quests for your characters. Make sure you write from both views, the main character and the villain, if you have one that is, so people can understand their goals. Now that you've finished writing the script, it is time for Now, you may think it's time to begin filming, but the next step is the sets. If you're making a film in Gorilla Tag or Orion Drift or any VR game that has pre-existing locations, skip to this time. This may also apply for some aspects of real-life films. For the sets, you're going to want to make sure they match your vision. This is easier in Yeeps than in real life, but it is possible in real life depending on your budget. Make sure your sets match a location you want featured in the film. Outfits are different to the sets. Like, if you want to make a superhero film, it's going to take a lot more time to make a costume. But for casual outfits, it should be easier. I would 100% recommend sketching out the outfits beforehand, so you have a better understanding of what it may look like. Now that this step is out of the way, there is only one more before filming, and that is Now, this step is optional depending on the kind of movie you're making. If you want to skip this step, just skip to this time. What is a storyboard? A storyboard is a visual outline of a project structured as a sequence of images or illustrations arranged chronologically, aka the structure of a film. For this, you're going to want to sketch every scene of your movie, not necessarily every word. This would take a while, so you can either skip it as a whole, or just do key parts like action scenes or just very important scenes in general. What I mean by important scenes, I mean like ones that build like character developments, stuff like that. Now that step 4 is done, it is time for This is it. Time to film. Now this can either be the easiest part or the hardest part. Before you start filming, make sure you have actors. These can be your friends or family. If you're making a VR movie, I would recommend getting people from that VR game's Discord server, but never get people from public lobbies, unless you don't have Discord or no one wants to apply. Camera angles can be tricky. Even I struggle with them sometimes. For each scene, if your actors are struggling to remember a bunch of lines, make them do 1 or 2 for one scene, then change the camera angle and make them do the next line. If an actor is refusing to listen and just messing around, replace them. If you do not replace them, this may slow the filming progress. Do not replace them if they don't know what to do. You must guide the actors and tell them exactly how they should act. Always try to keep every character you're focusing on around the middle of the screen to keep the audience's attention. Always try and make each camera angle different, like making the camera follow a person. Whew. Now that that step's out of the way, it's time for the third, final step. Time to edit. For editing softwares, you can use anything, but I use CapCut as that is what I'm used to. This is where you can look over every clip to see if there are any continuity errors, like a different time of day or a character wearing a different outfit. If you notice anything like that, make sure to reshoot the scene. Make sure in the background of scenes you include music. Lower the volume of it so it won't cover the audio of the characters. The song should match the overall vibe of a scene. You do not need a song for every scene. For a fight scene, I would recommend the music be energetic and fast. Alter the lighting of some scenes to make it darker or lighter. If a character punches another, use a sound effect to make the punch sound real. This also applies to weapons like guns, knives, or bombs. Ensure at the end of your film you have credits, crediting each actor and anyone else that helped you make your film. Speaking of crediting, here's a shout out to a few people that recommended I made this tutorial. Some shots you may need CGI. There are a variety of softwares you can use, but personally, I use Blender. If you don't have access to Blender or any other software, see if you can find anyone willing to help. If not, you may want to find an alternative way to do CGI, like with green screens. Now that you have finished editing, click export and move on to now you have to make a thumbnail. This can be the hardest part, as your thumbnail has to stick out, and if it doesn't, it won't get as many views as you want. There are a variety of options for a thumbnail, like a floating head thumbnail, something like this. Or, what I recommend, something like this. In my opinion, I don't like floating head posters, I just think they look messy. But if you would like to use them, go ahead. There are softwares you can use for the thumbnail, but again, I prefer CapCut. You can either use images of your characters for the thumbnail or use Blender to make it similar to the thumbnail I showed you earlier. Always include the title of the film on the thumbnail. Just make sure it doesn't take up a lot of space. Use a font and a color that match the vibe of the film, or make your own font. Now that that's done, one thing remains, that being go onto YouTube, click the little plus, select your movie, enter the name of your movie in a format like this. In the description, write a small description of your film, similar to how Netflix does it. Something along the lines of this. Select your thumbnail, make sure it's available for everyone to see. You can set it as a premiere, you don't have to. Then for this, you can just skip it, but if you want to fill it out, I would click no, just so you can see the comments. And with that, you have just made your first film.
Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope this tutorial really helped you, and I look forward to seeing any movies you make. If you use this tutorial to help you make a movie, please tell me in the comments below, and I will watch them. All of them. But yeah, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.